Hello and welcome to Threadpainting Behind the Scenes. In today's episode, I'm sharing a full recap of the behind the scenes process of creating and recreating my sister's thread painting. Let's go behind the scenes. The original sister's thread painting was hand-stitched by me in 2015 at the very beginning of my embroidery journey. I took up embroidery as a way to keep my hands busy in between calls at my corporate job. I fell in love with the process of stitching and knew right away that there would be so much to learn along the way. My brother took the photo this embroidery is based on. It's one of my sister and I sitting on the beach in Vancouver. We had the best time together that day, skipping around on the beach, laughing together, being silly, and I love making keepsake pieces of art that showcase special memories in my life, so I knew I had to capture this special memory in thread. Most of the stitching here was done using 2 strands of thread through the needle at a time, which results in a bulkier, less blended final result. You can see that I didn't stitch cleanly all the way to the edges, and there are some gaps between the stitches where you can see the fabric underneath. Speaking of, the fabric I stitched on was a thick cross-stitch fabric with relatively large holes, which I just happened to have on hand at the time. Now I prefer to stitch on linen or plain cotton fabric. I talk more about the differences between the stitching techniques and style of the 2015 Sisters thread painting compared to the 2020 restitched artwork in the video Sisters Embroidery Restitch Differences So Far, which I'll link in the description. Check out that video if you're interested. In the spring of 2020, after 5 years of business and creating over 100 thread painting commissions, I was inspired to re-stitch Sisters. I had decided to take a break from commissioned work during this stage of the pandemic and was at home missing my family a lot. This artwork being such a personal, special memory to me, as well as the foundational artwork in the history of my business, made it a perfect piece to bring to life at this time. This time around, I recorded almost the entire process of creating this thread painting and split it into a few sections. The first section focuses on the stitching process of my sister's flowy dimensional hair. The second section focuses on the process of creating the mountains in the background. And the third section, and my favorite part of this thread painting to restitch, was the water that we're looking out over. I used many shades of DMC metallic thread in addition to cotton thread to create depth and sparkle in the water, really evoking the memory of the sun shining on the water that day with my siblings, which you can watch in the full video water time lapse. All of these videos will be linked in the description. In my artist statement, I talk about how I treat the slow process of embroidery as a mindfulness meditation while processing the chaos of daily life. That was certainly the case with both of the original Sisters thread painting and the restitched thread painting. The first time around, I was trying to find a calm and peaceful, fun outlet to occupy my anxious mind in a stressful corporate job. This time, I was able to find a semblance of calm and peace during a scary and stressful global pandemic. Enjoy a little bit of slow stitching here. I add the sails to the sailboats with a few stitches. Another fun thing I started doing over the years is stitching my initials into my finished artworks. I try to use an existing thread color in the design and make them blend in so that you can only spot them if you're looking for them. Knowing they're there always puts a smile on my face. At the end of my projects, I like to have a little fun recording time lapses of all the thread bits being put away. I also love documenting the finished artwork alongside the thread colors it took to create it. My goal is to use the lengthy hand stitching process to connect to the artwork in an emotional way so that I can bring out the truest representation of the subject. Making this sister's embroidery was such a special process for me that I wanted to do it twice, and I hope that while you've been watching this process of making the thread paintings, you were able to connect to the artwork in an emotional way as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. To support this channel, you can definitely like this video and subscribe. You can also send me a tip on Venmo, the Cashapp, or buy me a coffee. The links to do any of those things are in the description below. You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at katehughesart. And I just want to thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.